It's Helga! Helga's back! Lift the lockdown!
Should have given us a heads up, Helga. We'd have rolled out the welcome wagon.
Save the fuss. Just let him know I'm here. Oh, stay put. You look comfortable there, and I'm good standing. Wouldn't get a clear view of all your faces from way back there anyway. Let's hear it. What's the situation?
We trust you've been well. With the unrest along the route, and no word for so long, perhaps bringing some of our own escort would have been wise in hindsight.
And who's to say our own ain't got this city's spies mixed in? With her skills, she's safer moving alone. Not all of us need a whole damn guard detail just to cross a road.
Enough. If our intel on this city wasn't shit, and Fraser wasn't breathing down our necks, Helga wouldn't have had to risk her neck for us in the first place. Never would have guessed. That kid's Hypatia Campbell. No wonder she knows Aurum Secretum tech like the back of her hand. I liked her. Still do. But the proof's right there.
Seems the schemers got restless while I was away. They all think they're hunters, all convinced there's treasure buried out here in these white sands. First they feed off our dead comrades' despair, then they prey on the living's hope. Fine. Can't blame us if we bag the prize before they do. Step into these swallowing sands, and be ready for them to be your grave. This city hasn't won, but we haven't lost either. What matters now is this. Neither this city nor Fraser has a damn clue where the hypercube veins are since the Black Ring vanished. That Black Ring, the one our Farland kin poured everything into, is just gone. It's not that they won't tell us. They don't know where it is either. This Unity Gala is nothing but a consolation prize. A peace offering to shut us up.
At least Fraser's still trying to get on our good side. They get it. We're all tied together. Sink or swim as one. They wouldn't just ditch the Farlands when things get rough. Why else send that society rep here to show off their hypercubes?
Can we trust any of it? What if Frazier's just looking for a polite way to back out of their promises?
Fuck them all! How many times have those Dis City mutts ground us into the dirt? The only reason the Farlands are still on a leash is because we got no real way to fight the mania. If it weren't for the Aurum Secretum tech, we'd all be corpses already. That black ring that can mine hypercubes was paid for in Furorian blood, and then it just happens to get lured right to the Dis City border. Whose damn scheme is this, huh?
Farland Alliance. From the very first day, I've never once seen you all stand as one. But this time, you've really outdone yourselves.
We've captured that Dis City Outland Affairs officer who showed up after. Calls herself Margaret Curvaz. She's already secured in our rock prison. Care to question her?
The Dis City Outland Affairs officer?
I'd almost thought you'd forgotten me. I'm pleased you've decided to visit at last. Last time, emotions were running rather high. I'm not sure how much you truly heard. Perhaps I should reintroduce myself properly. You must be Miss Yokna of the Rift Valley encampment. We met briefly before. Your people were somewhat less cordial than you.
That depends on the company, miss.
And you are Mr. Rael. I've heard stories of your beautiful wings. Mr. Jabara, you may not recall, but we have met twice before. At the NF-106 Great Expo, and again at the Embassy reception in Fraser.
As you know, I've traveled extensively for the Alliance over the years. It's not surprising certain attentive parties might have noted my movements.
I am aware that each of you leads a city-state or community in the Farlands. You represent countless ordinary people who call it home. As the Peace Ambassador, I have long wished to speak with you all directly about the future of the Farlands. Yet my messages have been met with silence. Now, it seems we finally have the chance.
Fuck your peace! The Farlands never asked for peace from Dis City, not when it's built on our people's blood. We only want blood for blood.
They say this one's silver-tongued in Fraser, yet leaves no trail. Now she has let 2 Dis City killers slip right through our grasp. We can't afford to be gentle.
Please, let me explain. Consider, if this were truly a trap laid by hostile forces from Dis City, assassins would have been lurking around the ruins. The moment you emerged, they would have overwhelmed you. But that is not what happened. I came to you alone, unprotected, to clear their names and to speak with you directly. The real culprit has used your prejudice to frame two innocent people. Their goal is to sow deeper hatred between the Farlands and Dis City. I know I am not welcome here. You may even see me as an enemy. The hatred between Dis City and the Farlands has festered for so long it feels unbreakable. And now, we have just endured another war. But I had to come, for the sake of the peace I believe in. In my memory, the Farlands and Dis City were not always at odds. When I was a child, my father often traveled here for diplomatic exchanges. It is true that during its expansion, the Discord government committed many atrocities against the Farland people. That ended with the government's collapse after the establishment of Edge in NF-103. Afterward, the Farlands and Dis City entered a period of reconciliation. The turning point was NF-104. That year, Dis City suspended hypercube exports to the Farlands, declaring them an emergency strategic resource and imposing a full embargo. That embargo rapidly soured relations between us. By then, I was already in Fraser, hearing only one narrative. It claimed Dis City was hoarding vast hypercube stockpiles while leaving people of the Farlands to die in catastrophes, all while secretly selling them back at exorbitant prices to drain the Farlands of their wealth. But the truth was quite different. In NF-104, a massive, unexpected explosion occurred in our hypercube mining operation, deep in the West District mine. What you now call the Führer Black Ring is actually the 5th Black Ring. What exploded back then was the 2nd. Yes, we understand the Farland suffering because Dis City endured a similar calamity long before. That Black Ring destroyed vast infrastructure, and countless workers were lost to the mania. Hypercube mining ground to a halt. Far from exporting, Dis City itself faced a severe resource crisis. While we fought desperately to contain the Black Ring and restore production, the Farlands not only offered no aid, but launched waves of public condemnation and protests against us. Tell me, who was pulling the strings behind the scenes? And who stood to gain?
Get to the point. What are you trying to say?
Fraser acts as the middleman in trade between the Farlands and Dis City. After the hypercube shortage post-NF-104, Fraser stockpiled most of the hypercubes that Dis City did export, then spread the lie that Dis City had imposed a monopoly and embargo, all to stir hatred. We tried to make amends. At the NF-106 Great Expo, we hoped for a peaceful gathering to unite all sides. Instead, Fraser detonated BR-003, sabotaging the expo I had worked to organize and directly sparking the year-long Outland War. Do you truly believe BR-003 was a ring weapon deliberately created by Dis City? When such a thing emerges, who suffers most? Do you think we welcomed it? Fraser fears contact between us because they know the buried truth will surface. When it does, the people of the Farlands will clearly see who they should truly stand with. I did not mean to assign blame, only to set the record straight. To you, they claim Dis City restricts trade. To Dis City, they express grave concern over the Farland Alliance's hostility. All while Fraser keeps its own hands clean.
I won't listen to your twisted words. No one but Fraser ever lifted a finger to help us. The Aurum Secretum Institute, the anti-mania devices, which of those wasn't built with Fraser's support?
In fact, we have maintained normal trade relations, Mr. Jabara, you are aware that recent hypercube shipments to the Farlands came through deals with Nirvana, all at fair prices. I should add, I personally facilitated those agreements as well.
What? How did you... Yes, all right. After the Great Expo, I secured the exclusive transport routes between our territories. When Fraser halted the hypercube trade because of the war, I arranged several shipments through Nirvana. If not for the sandstorms, then the apostles after the Black Ring, those hypercubes would already be in every town.
You son of a bitch!
Why are you shouting? Haven't you used hypercubes too? I did this for everyone's good, and this is the thanks I get?
Spare us your divide and conquer tricks. Everyone knows Jabara's a weather vane who bends with the wind, and Yokno wasted her time at that worthless expo because her nerve failed. Dizzying. Our blood once soaked this sand from your blades. You should have known then. Some of us don't forget.
You take pride in wielding Aurum Secretum, don't you, Mr. Rael? Even Miss Campbell never imagined her brilliant creation would birth such a twisted form of hope in these sands. But she didn't develop Aurum Secretum for war or to turn on other humans. It was meant to fight the Black Rings, to survive catastrophes. When did the Aurum Secretum warrior's purpose shift to vengeance? Who twisted your aim with hate and now leads you chasing the Black Ring to your graves? I believe I've clarified the past grievances. I trust you'll judge wisely. Now, let me present what I've actually come to offer you. Recently, BR-002, the second Black Ring lurking beneath the West District mine, was eradicated. The threat is gone, and new mining operations have been revived. The West District is rebuilding its facilities. Once production resumes, the new hypercube output won't just make up for the deficit since NF-104. It will surpass previous levels. We will soon be free from the scarcity that has plagued us. And this prosperity, I sincerely wish to share with all of you in the Farlands.
You mean this city's new mine? The hypercubes? You'd share with us?
Of course, provided we maintain a peaceful partnership.
But as Rael said, the last time Dissians showed up in White Sands, it brought only blood. If you truly want to negotiate, this city should show good faith first, just as Fraser has. Fraser has already named their price. If this city wants to win us over, they'll have to offer more.
Ah, right. If that society representative wasn't killed, we could have had our own Führer mine. Having our own would be far better than trading with this city.
Exactly. Extracting hypercube veins is difficult, but Fraser has promised the Luminaris Society will help us establish our own mining operation. We trust the Luminaris Society far more than your shadowy Nirvana.
The Luminaris Society? Haven't you realized it yet? Who do you think staged that incident in the Führer ruins? Let me tell you something. This city sent our most skilled prospectors to camp near the Führer ruins for half a month. They surveyed for over 10 days and found no trace of hypercube deposits. The Luminaris Societies claim that they can find hypercubes in Führer, What a daydream.
The hypercube radiation logs show absolutely no residual signatures. Those signatures cannot be scrubbed. The only logical conclusion is there is no hypercube in Führer. Not now, not ever.
What? You're saying there are no hypercubes in those ruins? Impossible! I bet everything on this!
Enough. Stop making fools of yourselves. Get out, all of you. I need to talk to this Dissian alone.
Thank you, Helga. I knew our friendship meant something. Now, it's just the two of us. Like when you came to Frasier to kill me. Did you know you're quite bad at that job? Guerrilla warfare and assassination are entirely different. The first only needs conviction. The second requires letting go of all sense of conscience. Take Rael, a pure assassin. He isn't swayed by what he hears or sees. But you, my friend, you believe what your eyes show you.
Save your breath, Margaret. Your tricks don't work on me. You're good at your job. You spun a web in Frasier for over a decade. So why are you in our hands today? You're short on people. Your so-called friends don't always listen. Now you're doing the dirty work yourself. Even stooping to use Campbell's daughter.
Now you're being unfair. I genuinely admire my young friend. She's kind and strong, but so often lost. The kind that makes you want to lend a hand. I've always believed she'll find her own way. Frasier is the one truly using you. They stirred your people to cultivate the Black Ring, then turned them into Aram Secretum warriors to die on the front lines. Don't you want payback for a blood debt like that?
Revenge doesn't move me. If I were that easy to sway, I wouldn't have stepped into this cage myself. I'd have just let them kill you. You're an Outland Affairs officer and a spy. Oh, this city must have invested a lot in training you. So I'm sure you know why the Farlanders hate you all so much.
Grievances need settling. People want peace. That's exactly why I chose this path. In the end, nobody wants war, except the butchers who profit from it. Today's Dis City fights only for peace.
Fighting for peace. Don't make me laugh. After BR-005 fell, Dis City could have pushed for total victory, but you stopped. You asked me if Dis City didn't want to win. Huh. It's not that you didn't want to. You couldn't. The Discorps hang over your heads like a sword. They've earned their honors but can't go home. You've got a new mine in the West District, but after months of bickering, production hasn't even started. You're pressured from all sides, with massive wartime investments in hypercubes and manpower waiting to be paid back. How could you afford to break Fraser completely? Well, what you really want is to dig up the power networks behind it, use them as leverage, and bleed them slow through blackmail. Your real goal is mutual profit. So the serpent in the shadows turns into a dove, released for peace, singing pretty while flashing its colors to fool the world. Is there really room to drive a wedge between the Farlands and Fraser? Or are we just baiting your game? Cast out, fish hooked, line reeled in, then the catch slaughtered? But now you're the stranded fish here in White Sands. Nobody believes you. Nobody helps you. I know about your influence. It's temporary. Once they sober up, everything you've said will be just wishful thinking.
And you? How much better are you than me? Your followers are fools helping to count the profits of their own slaughterers. What can you do besides scream for blood and more violence? You know better than them. Your trip uncovered plenty of Fraser's schemes. But who can you actually tell? I bet since you got back, you've been listening to endless squabbling, stuck and unable to move.
You have until dawn. Choose. Be escorted to Fraser as a prisoner, or crawl back to Dis City. Whatever friendship we had is done.
You can refuse my offer. But you know the truth. Alone, you can't change any of it. The Farlands will keep being used, lied to, and led down a path of ruin. Stop limiting yourself. Look up. See the wider world. If history has shown that relying on Fraser is no longer rational, why not try a new path? After I'm gone, the Farlands' fate will continue. 10 years, 20, a century from now, in a future you won't live to see. Stuck here in White Sands, bled dry generation after generation. Is that really their only destiny? Helga, I'm afraid you're the one truly trapped in this desert. As for me,